This is the story of the tallest, sexiest, funniest comedy and improv troupe to be born in Pittsburgh. But they weren't always the tallest, or the best. They've had their ups and downs, their easts and wests, their stardom and failure, before they became Hustlebot.
I ain't happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long, the future is coming on. I ain't happy, I'm feeling glad I got...
In July of 2006, the improv community of Pittsburgh was nothing more than a fractured, splintered mess of groups, with hit-or-miss shows. Until Ryan Kiesling sent out word he was starting a workshop. Kiesling was a veteran of the Chicago improv scene, the city where improv was born. His reputation carried weight.
I love the idea. I thought it was great, getting a bunch of Pittsburgh improvisers together, really mixed it up. It was a great idea.
I was still pretty new to town and to improv, and I could just tell that the community needed something like this.
Yeah, I told him flat out it wouldn't work.
Kiesling started the workshops anyway, and people came.
We had a nice mix of people. There was a bunch from the Amish Monkeys, some from other troops, a couple of random people, and people who I'd been in troops with before, like Joe, Nang, Dave, Drew, Anne-Marie.
We were doing a lot of the same exercises as before, but Ryan was just bringing this new light to it, a new perspective. And I knew a lot of the performers already. Joe and Larry and Dave and Nang and Drew.
I knew Nang, Drew, Dave, Anne-Marie, Larry.
Oh yeah, sure, it was nice learning new things with Larry and Joe, Christine, but at the same time, in the back of my mind, it's like, this isn't gonna work, so I couldn't emotionally invest myself in what I was doing. It wouldn't work.
But it did work. And this ragtag group of people found a new leader. A guru of sorts, in Ryan Kiesling.
Oh yeah, he's been performing for a long time. He started studying with Sharna Halpern, Liz Allen, Miles Stroth, and then he founded this group, Mission Improbable. They're huge. You should look them up. We did, because we didn't know who this guy was.
He was a wealth of improv knowledge. He knew more than all the rest of us combined.
Oh, I looked into his eyes and saw the eyes of a warrior.
The red, bloodshot eyes of a warrior. He smoked a lot of pot.
One day at one of the workshops, he broke down. Started venting about how his life was terrible, how school was going really bad, like he had no direction. I wasn't there, but I heard it was awful.
It was awesome. It was so awesome. I've never seen anyone that completely low. It was really low.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got nothing accomplished that day. Except for, I guess, Ryan felt better, but the whole time I'm like, see, this isn't gonna work.
I mean, a lot of pot.
The breakdown wasn't the only memorable thing Kiesling did for the group of improvisers.
The thing I remember most about Ryan is his clap. I mean, he had this thing.
Oh yeah, that clap of his. Oh man, it was like, pow, pow.
He smoked a lot of pot.
Not only did Kiesling have his clap, he also had the beginnings of a comedy night, part of his graduate degree program at Carnegie Mellon University. But first, out of the workshop participants, he needed to cull a troupe. A group he could work with and mold. A group who would feel comfortable together enough to learn the style of improv he wanted to teach.
Yeah, Ryan asked us to pick the 5 people we'd be most comfortable being in a troupe with, so to me it was a no-brainer. Christine, Larry, Joe, Anne-Marie, Drew.
Anne-Marie, Joe, Dave, Drew, Christine.
Christine, Drew, Larry, Dave, Joe.
Imagine if you took every improv performer in every improv troupe in every corner of the world and you piled them all together. That pile would not amount to half the amount of pot that Ryan smoked.
And so a troupe was formed, oddly enough comprised of members who had all been in several other troupes together. The Cellar Dwellers featured Larry, Joe, Christine, and Dave. Early I Factor had Christine and Dave, who were soon joined by Larry, Joe, and Drew. When Dave and Christine left I Factor, they were replaced by Anne Marie. It seemed the group had been together a lot in the past. And in the fall of 2006, Anne Marie, Christine, Dave, Drew, Joe, and Larry became Hustlebot. After months of rehearsal, Kiesling proposed an idea: perform in front of a live audience. But will Kiesling's gamble pay off? Will Hustlebot survive a real audience?
It's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt. And trust me, he got hurt.